let's first talk about the syllabus. But I'm not going to read the syllabus with you line by line to save time. And also, I know you read all those already, right? But I want to clarify it. We'll open this up later if we want right now. Start the recording. If we have too much noise, then the audio condition may not be good. All right. Office hours, as stated there, that is my office hours. Of course, the online students cannot make that. But you can always call me. One that I think I do the best to our students is to release my cell number, okay? So you can text me anytime. But texting is the first, okay? Don't call me, but many times if I am in another class, if I am in a meeting, if I am, for example, sleeping, if I am on transit, whatever, right? It may cause an accident or the traffic tickets. So texting is always good, and also I may be able to see who they are. So let's practice. There's a number. I want you to text me right now. Those who listened to my lecture on video also text me so that I know you are really viewing my video lecture. Text me. When you text, put there, here is a protocol, okay? Because I have so many students, so many people text me, not only here in this classroom, but those who already graduated in many cases. So here's the protocol that I ask you to do. Where is it? I wrote somewhere. Oh, thank you. Is that? Okay, this is the protocol. So right now I want you to practice. IASP 505, bracket if you can make, followed by your name. So I know which phone belongs to whom, okay? And you can say anything, okay, right now, so that I can see our connection was successfully made. Okay, so this is a prerequisite for this course. If you do not send to me the text, okay, first one, congratulations. It's from Danny Kinghan. Who is Danny King? Okay, Danny, thank you. All right, so do that. You don't have your.
It's off.
But you will have. Oh yeah, you have stuff. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, as far as you.
Do you have WhatsApp or like WeChat something? WeChat, WhatsApp?
I have a WhatsApp, but text is better, right? If so many notifications, so I want to have one notification from text only. Okay, I know you like WhatsApp. I like it, but we set up WhatsApp when we have cybersecurity competition. So only the cybersecurity competition teams we have a WhatsApp, so that so that we can share idea, and that cybersecurity competition meets every Saturday in the spring semester. Okay, so sometimes we change the time, meeting place. So WhatsApp is really needed. But for this class, not only this, but in any cases, right? Even after you graduate, if you want to contact me, you can do so. I'm glad I have yourself and Baltimore and Shake. Sounds like Shake. Are you there? I mean, the sounds is like Shake Shack. We all love. Well, my son loves Shake Shack. It's not bad, right? There's good quality. I'm not sure good quality, but it is good hamburger. There's no prerequisite. The goal of this course and also student learning outcomes can be read. So I want you to read this. And the meeting time. This is a little tricky. So we meet every Thursday during that time period. But sometimes here at Manhattan, 7:20 in this classroom. We take turn every other week, okay? And then we meet Dobbs Ferry. I'm not sure everyone visited at least once where we are at Dobbs Ferry. Okay, there is a lab, cybersecurity lab, I reserved for this semester from this time period. So you should be there. I'm going to be there. But I will let you know every Thursday morning on Blackboard. So if you come to Blackboard, you will see where we are going to meet. Okay. If you have, okay. In the syllabus, I said the first two meetings will be held here at Manhattan. First two meetings. But I received a call from the department faculty meeting February 9th, which is 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today, fourth meeting of this semester, supposed to be here, right? First and second here, third Dobbs Ferry. Therefore, fourth, I need to come back to Manhattan. But fourth week, the same morning, there's a call for a meeting at Dobbs Ferry site. If I attend the meeting, then I cannot come here. The meeting starts 10:30. It takes 2 hours, so it ends 12:30. So it's very tricky. So that is the reason I'm posting where we are meeting each Thursday. By Thursday morning, I will post the location of our class. Okay. So, in order to make the Dobbs Ferry classroom on February 9th, then I need to wait a minute. Let me check. February 9th is, I know there's a Thursday. Is it? Today is the 19th, so we meet here. 26th is the second week, as I stated, as I planned on the syllabus here at Manhattan. And the third meeting is February 2nd, right? February 2nd. Original plan, I need to be at Dobbsbury. So here's the thing that, and the 9th, I need to come back. But because of that call for meeting, I need to be at Dobbsbury on 9th. Then that schedule is shifted a little bit. So February 3rd, I need to call. February 3rd. Anyway, we'll meet today here, next week here, and then 2 weeks after that, Dobbsbury. But the plan for third meeting of this semester. How many of you like here? How many of you like Dobbsbury? Okay. Okay. Then what we are going to do is first 3 meetings we are going to be here. Today, week after that, and another week after that. So consecutively, 3 whole first three lessons to be held here, Manhattan, and then 4th, February 9th, then we will switch to Dobbsbury, and after that, 1 here, 1 over there, 1 here, 1 over there. Okay, pretty much like that. But as I said, if there is something happens which may cause some classroom delay, then I need to shift a little back and forth. Okay, so keep in mind. Because of that, if anyone has any difficulties, any problems, then you can still stay online. Okay, so there is no hurts at all. Okay? And if you have any question during the time while online, then you can ask questions when you are available physically in person at the classroom, right? So it's not really a big problem.
And whatever is going to be applied to this class is the same as going to be applied to the other class.
Exactly, right. So I cannot make one here. Yeah, it should be. Exactly, right. Are you taking 555? Are you bundled, right?
He's taking only you this is. Yeah.
It's a bundle. Yeah. Package. What about? You take 555 also? You take all 505 and 555 with me. Okay. Oh. Okay. Then I don't need to explain this again this afternoon. I mean tonight. It's clear, right? It's a meeting schedule. If you do not follow precisely, then just visit Blackboard and see where we are going to meet. At worst case, if you cannot, maybe once permitted, you can text me. Few semesters ago, one semester always text me. I said, it is on Blackboard. But you still text me. It doesn't mean that I don't like to answer, but I want you to come to Blackboard. Okay, that's the whole point. Okay. Textbook. If you want to buy textbook, you can buy. First of all, any one of you from computer science or computer engineering background, or your computer science, so you do not have any problem. I'm glad that you have. What about Dennis?
I come from criminal justice. So
criminal. Yeah, that's fine too. Right. Criminal. Let me ask you a question then. Are you diligent?
Am I diligent?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Then you'll be okay.
Okay.
I'm proud. But I cannot make somebody who do not want to work. Then it's very hard and almost impossible. And how can I ask him to think and code, typing, and debug if somebody who do not want to, right? But as far as you want to work, and you are willing to invest your time and your heart, brain, then I can help you. Okay? I'm always with you. But unless otherwise, although you have computer science background, you're strong. If you do not want, then I cannot make it wrong. Okay. This course is specially designed for those who do not have a strong computer science background. Although with the computer science disciplines and background, those who have been drifted away, not continually coding, or somehow not really particularly this particular language, because when you were in bachelor's degree, maybe some other languages, can take this, okay? For example, oh, yeah, very good. You shake, okay? You can shake. So you're more than enough. C is good. And 555, for example, I'm going to explain that there. But this class has 4 major modules: coding, network, operating systems, and database systems. 555 has 2 major modules. First module is iPhone apps. Second module is sensor network. iPhone apps, the language is somehow similar to Python, similar to C. Okay, we call that Swift. That is a language that is the next generation from Objective-C. So Swift is very easy to learn. That is a language that we declare here at Python. We never forget to say that Python is the language to learn very quickly, very easily, and to implement very quickly. Okay, same thing. Swift is very, very similar to that. There's a first module of 555. Second module is sensor network. There we're going to use C. Yeah, C. Okay. So I'm going to ask Shay to come over here to teach C. But it's not really, again, big coding. It's very simple coding. But we activate some of the sensors. So sensor can acquire sensor data and sending to us. Okay, one of the simple sensor is temperature sensor, right? Or humidity. So that type of things will be discussed. Textbooks introduced here. I didn't update. Forgive me. If any one of this has a new version, then find out new version. Okay, but I probably maybe app silver shots last two courses, operating systems and database systems. Abby silver shots. He's in Yale. Maybe updated, right? It's very old. 2012 or 2010. Okay. Python. I'm keep editing Python textbook. So some of them will be posted so that you can read it. So technically, you may buy all of this textbook. Of course, mine is free. Technically, you may not. Okay, none. Okay. I want to read though. Okay, grading. Assignment 40%. So I'm going to give you 4 to 6 assignments. Almost all are programming. I mean coding. At least 4 of them are coding itself. Maybe a couple of coding for example, network, coding for operating systems, or coding for database systems. Okay, all of them are in Python. Okay, so the language, underlying language, although we are touching 4 different subjects, the underlying language remains the same. Everything, whatever we do in Python. Okay. Participation 5%. So we have 2 exams, midterm and final. Both ways more than 50%. 25% midterm and 30% final. Somebody says, why exams weighs that high? According to experiments. Whose experiments? I think some other university professor introduced his research result at a Mercy meeting, I think a couple of years ago, and he compared student achievement. I think he probably has multiple sections of the same course. One course, no exam, no nothing. Okay. One class, another class, some mixture. Another class, exams, as many as they can. Okay. So after the completion of that classes, and they tested it in many ways, students from 3 different groups, and then performance, the way they answer, the way they do, the way they expose, critically big difference. Okay, so exam is not just evaluation. Exam motivates you to study, and then there is a big milestone over the course of the learning curve. If you have exam, then you review very seriously, and then you may know that your strong point and weak points, and after the exam, clearly you can see where you are. So it gives you, you know what I mean, right? So that is the reason. So when we designed this first, I mean, many years ago, I gave maybe 20% to exam and 75% of students' work. Increase. But I'm not going to increase more than this. Okay, this is maximum. Sometimes I put 50%, sometimes 55%. Okay, but at least half. Okay. And course schedule. I'm going to explain this with this. What This is not good. I make duplicates. And then if I do presentation, doesn't appear there. Why? Display setting, duplicate slideshow. Oh no, it's too long. Okay. I think I explained this already, right? Okay, the content, how? Maybe what? Okay, programming skills, coding skills, 5 to 6 weeks. Network concepts, 4 to 5 weeks. Systems, understanding, 4 to 5 weeks. Systems consist of 2 at large: operating systems and database systems. And homeworks, lecture plus lab. Yeah, while we are doing here, I give you time. I can give you time to complete your work. Why this course? Foundations. As I explained to you, those who from computer science background but needs to refresh, or those who do not have any at all, then take this course. Not only that, what is this? why not using the one already developed? I think this is something about Python. Why Python? Then you do not need to do coding from scratch at every time, but Python is a big world, and Python, there are a lot of the modules already developed for you to use. So you simply bring it and add your value on top of it, then it'll be yours. Okay. So why not you? What to learn from Python coding? So you can learn syntax. Okay, syntax. Python syntax is it's not really rigid. And complex, not like Java or C, but you simply try. It gives you the result as much as it looks okay. At any points, if you put there dummy code, whatsoever it is nothing but dummy. It's not Python at all. Then your Python interpreter stops there. Okay. What does that mean to you? You can still try. Okay? What about other language? Shapes. For example, if you do C, then what is the steps that you need to do until you get the result? I guess what he said is that the language that you use in C should be valid, so that your compiler should be satisfied, and then when you execute it, then once it is executed, then it can be executed, right? So there is no saying, oh, my program runs 30%. If it runs 30%, then you may have a compiler error, right? Of course, there is a runtime errors, but that is a different story. So Python is easy. It's good for GUI and animations. We'll do that. And Python can manage files by writing scripts. And Python is a good language to search. And also we can do function and function definition, function calls. And unlimitedly many applications already developed. For example, network packet analysis. In fact, as far as time permits, we'll get to that issue. Okay, for network course, basically we will do two things. We can set up socket server and socket clients using Python. Okay, so you can practice that. And as far as time permits, then we can open up network interface and grab all the packets to be unpacked. So we unpack the packets and to see what is inside. And also operating system management and database management. What to learn from network? We learn simply the theory, network layers and protocols. And then we apply layers to various application domains. And manage and monitor IP packets and routings. At this point, we may use Python. and identify package analysis tools. Some tools already developed, so we simply use it and get some idea, which we can extend to, by implementing in Python. Systems, we will look at operating systems and database systems. How many of you are familiar with operating systems in command line? Windows. How many of you like Windows in command line? You like a command line. Linux in command line? Very good. You're yourself or yourself? You yourself? Yourself? You? Oh, you didn't text me, right? Still problem?
Yeah.
Okay. So Linux, what about you guys? Operating system? We don't do command line operating system. Only GUI, click, using mouse. Command line. Which operating system? Oh, Windows. So, since you are in cybersecurity, command line, knowing command line interface to the system is essential, right? Which one is more fluent, command line or GUI? Command line, right? No, command line. Not all the command line can be implemented in GUI. Only partial, only maybe 10 to at most 50% available in GUI.
No, what's the question? You said which
more
one
fluent.
More fluent.
Right. More availability. More capabilities.
More capabilities.
Right.
Of course it's command line.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if you rely on graphical user interface, then that much released for naive user to access. All expert users needs to know command line so that they can access something that you will never do using graphical user interface. Right? Graphical user interface is extra work for, from the developer. Whatever you do develop, you develop engine, and then maybe 10% of that engine capabilities is upfront in graphical user interface for naive users to access. Okay, it doesn't mean that a graphical user interface is only for naive user. Even expert user can use it, but naive user cannot more than what graphical user interface allows, right? Only that much, at most. What about cybersecurity experts, professionals? They need to look behind, right? Behind the graphical user interface. So up to 90% of capabilities of that engine should be accessed by command line. Okay? When I was young, when I do command line, then I never forget. But at my age, only the command line that I still remember are acquired and learned up to the age 40s. I'm 50. 40s. None of you are 40s. 20s. So at 20s, You do once, one time command line, then it's in your brain. It goes with you forever. Okay? So the more that you practice at age 20 or 30, guess what? Your lifetime will be more fluent in command line. You will never forget. It's the same thing, the language, our verbal language. If you learn it at earlier age, then you will never forget. Right? How many languages? 3. All learned when you were young, or anyone you picked up when you are 45 years old or later? No. You're still young, right? So everything is from at your younger age. But at my age, I cannot learn a third language. I may try, but not effective, right? Effectiveness is big difference. At this IT age, if somebody, I want to learn, that's fine. Even if he is 60s, 70s, yeah, we encourage them to learn. What about effectiveness? What is the outcome? Outcome is not the same as you guys can do, right? You guys, once you do one time, then that's yours. Like a stone graving, right? You know, grave, E-type on the grave, never erased, right? But at the old ages, E-type on the water, flowing water. Hate something on the flowing water, cracks and disappears. Never be yours. SQL statements, SQL statements. I learned the SQL statements when I was 20s, 30s. I learned as complicated SQL statements as possible. You cannot imagine how. One SQL statement, about 100 lines. Only one semicolon. Those who know SQL statements knows what I mean by semicolon, right? That's one statement. So that's another concept that we do. Assessment, I already explained to you. All the homework assignments, all the course materials. Because this course is not only for you in person here, but for those who are online. Reason we do not offer 2 sessions is because not many students, so we combine them. But I'm thinking of setting this course as one of a mandatory, so that students, few of our students complains at the end, I don't know much about coding. I said, why did you take 505 at your first semester? I didn't know that. Okay? So those who are, 3 of you are lucky. Who told you to take this? At least, okay? So you've believe this. If you invest this semester fully on coding, 505, if you do not have enough time, then I can say only half of the semester, that is only for coding, right? Or 6, or sometimes 8 weeks, and then that's it. Once you know the coding, then you do not have any problem catching up. All others simply read and you can understand. If you do not, some concepts, some computer science concepts cannot be understood easily only by reading. If it is the case, then you can practice it. You can test it. How? Coding. By coding, you can test it. For example, oh, what about network? Oh, we have a 7-layer network. Okay, international OSI level, right? 7 layers. What does that mean to me? Okay, then practice it in Python. You can find it. Right now, you do not know yet, right? How can I test it in Python? There is a reason that you are here, right?
It's a good idea. Should there be prerequisites for the other class?
Exactly, right.
Because when we start data mining, we went into the code.
So nobody told you to take 505?
No, nobody told me. In the beginning, I would like to know that. First class you need to
When I
test
send out admission letter to the admission office, I never forget that. Ask this to take 500 and 505. I think they dropped. So I talked to the admission officer 2 days ago in office open house, and I strongly expressed our requirement. It's not really requirement. If we require this, then some students cannot join our program. Which means cybersecurity is not only for computer sciences. Cybersecurity is broad. National Security Agency, NSA, for example, wants people, students from wide range, wide spectrum of the bachelor's, from English, psychology, to computer science, electrical engineering, whatsoever. Okay? It's not just cybersecurity. It's not just the technology issue. You understand what I mean, right? So legal issues, cognitive issues. If something happens, then it happens first to the infrastructure, next to human, next to culture, next to country, next to law. Everything. So it is not just a technology issue. Therefore, we do not want to exclude somebody from non-technology background. Non-technology background, students from non-technology background come here and learn some of the technology from with us, and when they join some organizations, they may contribute better. May. I cannot say they should, right? Of course, computer science students can also, right? But they may contribute. Their contribution may be quite different from the contribution that the computer and tech guys can do, right? They can do something tech guys cannot do, vice versa. That is the reason. Cybersecurity is not. If we focus cybersecurity technological aspects only, then there is a disability. Okay, it's not complete set.
But they need to acknowledge this.
Exactly. So while you are
Each
doing
one
this
goal.
technology, you
Each
also
one
need to learn some non-technological aspects. So you need to learn a little bigger than science. Okay, all the course materials are available on Blackboard, and your submission needs to be done on Blackboard only. So we never use paper or pencil. I never use, right? Everything on electronically, and even your participation also electronically. I already got your participation. Here on my text. This is the evidence. Okay, let's go. the first lecture, coding in Python, okay. Come on. Topics to learn. This module. This class will end what? 5:40. So I think about time we need to break. Okay, I'm going to tell you what we are going to learn, and then we will take a break. I need to grab some to drink, food from outside. So graphical user interface. We're going to start with a graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. I know almost all the coding lectures, they default graphical interface for the end, right? And at sometimes, if they do not have enough time, then okay, let's forget about graphical user interface. But we're going to do graphical user interface first. These days, if you want to make something, therefore you want to show your work to your interview, then graphical user interface is a must, right? If there is no graphical user interface, then the first motivation is only 50%. Although you explain that, oh, this is really intelligent and robust. You've never seen this before in your life. Even if you say that, then if it doesn't look fancy, then okay, go ahead, and they hesitate to look at it. But if you have very nice user interface, then they, oh, let me see it, right? And then we will look at data types and conditional statements, repetition statements. Only basically two things: conditional and repetitions. Whatever you do, your program needs to make decision, right? So there's a conditional statements. Whatever you do, you need to do it repeatedly, right? If you do, oh, I'm done once, it's no good, right? If you showed this, oh, this works, say a million times, or you can say this works 24/7. You go ahead to sleep while your program is running on behalf of you. How nice it is, right? So repetition and condition, those two things. To do that, okay, first the fifth blitz: class, objects, methods, invocation. We have more buzzwords after that, right? Encapsulation, information hiding, what else? So many others, right? Polymorphism. What are they all from? The fifth blitz there. They're all from object-oriented programming, right? Object orientation. We'll look at object orientation, but if you don't like it, don't do it. But if you do object orientation, then your work will be more expandable, more commutative with others. It can be as a one member, like objects among object sets. So much nicer, but not necessary, right? Okay. So, oh yeah, I'm going to explain this before we take a break. Environment. You have to download. Two things needs to be downloaded. Well, actually, more than two. Python interpreter. I want you to download the Python interpreter from here, during break, okay? We'll take about 20 or 25 minutes break because I cross the streets to buy some. And download it. If you do not know how to install, then download it, okay? Then I will guide you. I want you to download the two versions, Python 2.7 and Python 3.6, or if not available, 3.5. Let me ask you, how many, anybody has Mac 1 instance Mac? Okay, Mac is a must for 555. That's the course. If you want to work on your this, those who have Windows, drop this course. No. Still possible. Still possible if you invest $20 per month. So $20 collected by me? No. Apple. macincloud.com. macincloud.com. You can subscribe. If you do not buy, then $1 1 hour. But I want you to buy monthly, at least throughout this semester. Okay? Maybe 3 or 4 months. If you do not want to buy MacBook, then 4 months, then $80 only. Everything about it. It has all the script. It is ready for you to develop iPhone app. Okay? It has a Python, it has everything. But for this course, 505, you don't have to worry about it. Okay? 505, Windows. 505, our mainstream is Windows. Mac users are outlier. But still, I'm okay.
And there's no virtual
505. Virtual machine, yeah, that's fine. 50555, our mainstream is Mac. But for Windows users, there is a cloud systems. As far as you have web browsers, as far as you pay $20 to Apple, not to me, it has nothing to do with me, okay? That's good for this semester. You know what we did last semester, a year ago? Students need to set up virtual machine. They need to buy OS and OS X. I think about $200. They install it, then it is exactly the same as Mac. Okay, $200. For this semester, how much? For 4 months? $80. You know what our students did a year ago? They didn't buy. I do not know where they got OS 10, but they got OS 10 and installed. Free. If you like it, I do not recommend you. I do not ask you, but yeah. Okay, so why we need the 2.7 and 3.6? I'm going to explain that. So ideally, for Windows users, if you have For Windows users, I want you to recommend to install your Python 2.7 under this directory and 3.6 under that directory. 3.5 fine too. I'm going to explain that. So Python interpreter needs to be downloaded, and another thing that you need to download is Paizo. All right, and then for Mac user, you don't need to download the Python because the Python is already there. All Linux operating systems have Python by default, at least 2.7. When did you buy your Mac? 10 years ago? Then only 2.7. A couple of years back, then 2.7 and 3 point some. So you will be all set to go. But same thing. Paizo here. Paizo is a graphical IDE. Okay, integrated development environment, IDE. So it is good, easy to implement Python. It has editor, it has a compiler, it has everything. So it's not perfectly the same as Python itself. A little bit of disparities, so we will know that later. But good to start. Okay, so I want you to download the Paizo for both Windows users and Mac users. So Windows users, you need to download both of this. You don't have to install. For Mac users, you need to download this Paizo. Okay, so I explained that all here. I think you will be okay. Show it to you the Windows users. We're going to use most cases Paizo here. Okay, most cases we're going to use Paizo, but only a few cases we're going to use interpreter. For example, if you want to set up Python-based socket server and socket clients, so that you may want to have like 10 clients and one server, 10 clients access one server. Or if you want to create a million clients per second to access one server, so that to demonstrate denial of service, then Paizo is not a good interpreter, good environment. Paizo cannot do. You have to do it from this interpreter. Okay? If you don't understand what I am saying, raise your hands so that we need to make sure. As you download, therefore you double click it in Windows, then somewhere it may ask you to set the location. If it doesn't ask you, then let it go, and then remove it, and then restart to customize. Okay, if you install the Python, the default Python, so that default the path, default directory or default folder, then you can let it go. Otherwise, you have to customize it. Sometimes it asks you where you want to install this. So here is what I ask you to do. You can install your, look at that, my Explorer, Python 2.7 and Python 36. Why do I need two? Well, usually we do not need two. But Python is the language quickly developed by, I think he's Norwegian or Swedish. When he was working at physics lab in Switzerland on one Christmas weekend, and he was bored. So, hey, what should I do in this the year-end Christmas weekend? Is there anything that I can do? And he finally said, "Oh, let me create one language." So he created one language, which is the origin of Python. So one man, that's a language originally created by one person. Now it's very powerful, and millions, billions users are using, and also thousands of people are improving the language. But it evolves very quickly and improves the performance and the language very well up to the level, version 2.7. When the version 2.7 was released, there are already billions of users are using Python, and thousands of computer professionals who know about the computer programming languages realized that Python is somehow drifted away the formal programming language schemes. So they try to decide, hey, if we rely on the version that we're currently evolving, then at some point we may give up, because there's no way that we can fix, because it's touched from the wrong foundation, wrong or weak foundation. Therefore, we may have endless problems. It's very similar to Windows. Currently Windows 10, right? It starts from the very weak and the wrong foundations. So we keep having a lot of problems, right? Windows 10 still have a lot of problems. Improved a lot, but still problems, because it was based on something very weak, originally developed by IBM, DOS, discrete operating systems. Have you heard of DOS? DOS? It's not denial of service, but discrete operating systems. Right. It's like toy programs. By that time, while IBM is developing that DOS, Steve Jobs migrated something developed from, I think, one or two. I think of originally Berkeley, UC Berkeley. And then mid-1980s, he adapted the version from Carnegie Mellon University, and then he built next step operating systems, and then it migrated further and further. That is the current iOS. Okay, so iOS is actually Carnegie Mellon products. But Windows, so wrong direction, still have problem. I think it continually problem. Although it has a lot more users than Linux. Okay, Windows systems requires a lot bigger memory. Right now, Windows in order to run Windows 10, I think you need at least 2 gig memory, right? 4 gig is something recommended. 8 gig, much better. But Linux, not even 1 gig. Yeah. Yes, very small. Which one's strong and reliable? Linux is much strong and reliable, right? That type of things. Okay. Python. Based on the weak foundation, if we evolve further, then the language itself might have a lot of problems. Then we may lose the users. So let's stop at the Python 2.7. So let's make a little more formal language, starting from 3.0. Okay. From that time, they all is based on function. Okay, function. You may think of function in math or function in another programming language. Anyway, it's a function, same function. Okay, so function-based the language now started from 3.0 till Python 2.7. The gigantic application modules already developed, particularly network-based. Then they are all network-based. Then they are usually running on a Linux platform. And almost all Linux now has Python 2.7. 3.0 or 3.5, then you need to upgrade it in addition to 2.7, like Mac or any Linux operating system. If you download the Ubuntu on your virtual machine, the Ubuntu operating system has Python in it already. So recent versions of Linux operating systems have 2 versions, 2.7 and 3 point something. So depending upon the module that you download and build upon, if it is 2.7 based, then better to go back to 2.7. Unless you restart, do the same thing as done before. Okay? So 2.7 is still valuable. 3.6. So in this classroom, we do 3.6. Okay? But that is ideal. How can you use 2.7 or 2.8? If you have it, then you can run it from your terminal. The Windows users, you can run the terminal by holding Windows button and press R, right? R for run, and on that text box, you can type CMD for command, and then OK. Then that is the terminal, right? By default, because you are logged in your Windows under particular username, in my case Jaeyun, right? Users are under users folder from the C drive, right? So if you, from anywhere, if you want to run 2.7, then you can do this way. C:, and you can spell out all the path to the Python that you created, you installed. The one that I installed is C:// and Python 2.7, right? and then another Python. That is the language. If I bring that up, for example, this. See here, Python 2.7. If you double click that, so that this is the path. C:\/ Python 2.7. That's what I'm going to type here. After that, another / Python, which means I'm going to run this program, this Python. There is a particular file name Python that is application program. This is a command line Python interpreter. I'm going to do this one time. For the rest of this class, I will come back to another coding if we cannot do that using Python. Python is a powerful environment, but it's not 100% compatible with the Python itself. That is a graphical user interface, so that very easy to do something, but it has some barrier. Okay. In that case, we'll come back to this command line. So when I type this, C:\/ Python 2.7 Python another / and Python, which means I'm going to run this program, Python. See the highlights here in this? So I'm going to run it. Enter. When I do enter, and it says Python 2.7.13, this is the version. Okay. Here you can say, oh, I want to add 2 plus 7, then it can compute on behalf of you. But this is not what we want. If you want to do help, then you can do also help and open and close parentheses, then gives you some help. Okay. And then if you want to see some modules, then you see the modules that's available on this 2.7 interpreter. Modules is some packages available on this Python. Okay. So if you want to get out this help, then you can do quick get out. If you want to see here, there is a prompt to left to open angle brackets. I mean three of those. This is the prompt. Okay. If you want to quit your Python, then you can quit it. Quit, then open and close parentheses. Not just quit. By this time, some of you may feel that when I did help, then I did help, open and close parentheses. When I want to exit this Python interpreter, now I need to do quit, open and close parentheses. What does that mean? Function. There's a function. It's a function based. Remember that function f of x? F, open and close parentheses, right? F of x equals x squared plus whatever, right? If you don't do this, then what happens? I don't know. It says close and open. Okay. And here, if you want to see the command that you just issued, then you can press upper arrow on your keyboard, upper arrow. Then you can see the previous ones. Now if you want to run 3.6, then you can simply change C:\\/ Python 36 / Python and hit enter. Then you can see this is another interpreter. See here, what is the version of this interpreter? Now 3.6. So if you have two versions of Python fully installed on your Windows, then you can run it selectively, the way that I showed to you. Okay?
The 36 version doesn't include the 27?
They are totally different. Right. Yes. Overlap. Right. But more libraries on 3.6. Language overlap also. So 3.6 is a new language. 2.7 is old. If you want to make one of this for your default interpreter, then you need to set that interpreter on your environment, path environment. Here also same thing, same computation, 6 plus 9, so same computation, right? 15. Okay, now I'm going to quit. If you want to make a path, then here's what you need to do. For example, if you want to, hey, it's 2.7, I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to make a path so that wherever I type Python, then it open up 3.6. Then you need to set the path. How can you set the path? Here's the way that you can set the path. Click, not highlight this PC on your Windows and click right button. There is a properties. Then there is the left pane. There is 4 menus. The last menu is called the Advanced System Settings. Click on it, and there is new nodes. There's an environment variables at the bottom. Click on it, and then there is a user variable and system variable. Doesn't really matter if you are only one user. Usually the laptop, you are the only one user, right? So, but if you want to share, if you share your laptop, so whoever comes to your laptop do his or hers, and also you want to provide a Python environment to arbitrarily whichever user is, then you need to set the path here in the system level. Other than that, here, user. If there is no path, then you can create it. If there is no such, then you need to do click new. Here, new. Then here you need to do path. And then value for that path. But I already have a path. It's not going to work. But anyway, those who do not have, then type path, and then value for that path should be come back here, go to one of the versions that you have, Python 2.7 or Python 3.6. If you want to do Python 3.6, click it, and then there is no binary ones, then this is okay. So click on that upper level box, then this is highlighted so that you can copy it, right? This should be copied, and then come back here. Yeah, come back here, and then you can type it. And at the end, you can do semicolon. You can add one or more path, one path for one application. So that path for Python application. If you do Python 3.6 and Python 2.7 together, then there is a collision. Don't do that. Okay. One or the other. Python 1. And if you have other application, for example, Snort, and if you want to run Snort wherever you are, then you need to do that. If you want to do it by pointing to that specific location, then you don't need to set a path. And then you can do OK, but in my case, I need to do cancel. Those who do have already path, then you need to open up by clicking edit button. Okay, edit button. Then you already have very long list of paths, so that you need to click at the end of that, right? Make sure there is no other. Make sure you should have a semicolon. Here you need to add it, paste it, Control V, so that I have here C colon Python 3.6, right? But I'm not going to do it. And that okay until it. I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to cancel this, cancel that. Okay, that is for Windows. Let's do Python also. If you install the Python successfully, I'm going to close this. Then I have Python here. Python let's try. Where is the Python? Not useful. Not here, right? So what about 86? I have here Python. So this is Python. So I make a shortcut menu from Python here, which is in my case program files 86 and Python. Okay. Anyway, if you have that, then click on it. This is Python, and there's a three different sectors, right? And then in the middle, you might have interpreter. Interpreter here, 8 plus 2, enter, then it gives you 10. If you do not have this, this is so-called shells. Click bottom here, underneath shell. Then if you want to create new Python shell, then you can do this. You can stick to one of the shell, 3.5, whatever, right? You need to select here. I believe if you do not have anything, then you can choose one of the Python that you install. And this is the directory. File browser here. Middle, there's a shell. Left, we have, this is editor. I open up multiple Python coding list. Each folder here, each label is one coding list. Okay, that's what's happening. This is the coding environment that we are going to use throughout this class. Okay, this is for Windows. Those who do not follow this well, then I want you to view this video multiple times, and then you will be okay. So I'm going to stop this here, and then I'm going to go to Apple. Okay, this is a Mac for Mac users. Let's assume that you do not have anything. Okay, then what you need to do is this is for Mac. Okay, you guys have a Mac at home? Anybody? Only Windows? You have Mac. You have so many computing powers. What else do we have? Do you have Arduino? Arduino as a microcontroller. Arduino? No. So you will get one from 555. What about Raspberry Pi? You do not have Raspberry Pi? You will have a Raspberry Pi also. That's all Linux. So I have a very nice Raspberry Pi, small. It's a standalone. It is a Linux operating system running. It has a Python in it, Ubuntu like it's Debian, Linux operating systems running. So I have extra keyboard, 3-fold keyboard. How much is it? It's about $30 or $40. Their Raspberry Pi is about $50. And keyboard, if you buy it at Amazon, maybe $6. Not the keyboard, mouse, extra keyboard, 3-fold. If you fold it, then it's like this. And a Raspberry Pi is about that. Keyboard is about that. Monitor is the only the problem. Right. I have purchased 3 different kinds of monitors, 5 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches during holidays. All returned. Never worked. Some worked, but there's all crashes, vertical lines, all made in C countries, so C. So I returned them all. So I didn't buy. Rather, I'm using my home. Oh, this big, not this big, but TV sets. I am using also my desktop monitor. All are fine, but something that I purchased the extra small ones. I want to make everything small so that I can carry and open up. Then there is a big Linux operating systems. Then you can run. You can hack in from there. We'll get to that in 555. Okay, terminal. What is your name? Peter? Peter or Peter? Peter, oh, you're Peter? Did I receive message from Peter? Huh? Oh, you simplified Peter. Okay, that's better. Okay, Peter, you know how to get terminal, right? Okay, press command button and space bar, then you will have that. From there, you type term, then it shows terminal. Okay, and then you choose terminal, then you will have this terminal. Okay, so nothing there. Okay, what you need to do is that if you do Python there, simply type Python, then there's 2 point. Ooh, I upgraded it. Quit. If you do, I'm not sure. Why did I upgrade this? Python 2 works? Probably not. Python 2 is not. Probably I do not have any Python 2.7. That's good. I do not have any Python 2. Oh, no, Python. Yeah, because I upgraded the Anaconda. See here. So my Python is upgraded. Python is the language, right? Python is a simple but powerful coding environment. But there is a gigantic, big snake for you to rely on, which is Anaconda rather than Python. That is there, Anaconda. So Anaconda is if you download and install Anaconda, then it has everything. Okay, but not in this class. We go up to Python. Okay, so with that understanding, if you want to do more, if you are going to be a Python hacker, then you may be able to do that with Anaconda later. But anyway, this is the way that you can do. Okay, and if you, Peter, if you downloaded Python, then this is Python, right? This is a recent version. I think this is a version that I need to trash it. If you click this, then it has this. If you click this, in my case, it now works. But if it is not working, I'm going to cancel this because of unidentified developers. Python is not identified developers' products from the Apple point of view. So Python is nothing but maybe virus. So Apple says, we're not going to let you run it. But you trust Python, right? So Peter, what should we do then? In that case, come here, Apple, and system preference, and then there is a security and privacy. Open it, and general. By this time, it's not. Yeah, somehow, as I stated in the slide, there's a button open anyway. Okay, so if you open it anyway, then it will open. First time it opens, then it opens after that, continually. Okay, so Mac users will be okay as well. So I'm going to combine this with the Windows one big video. If they make two different formats, then I cannot. Then I will post separately. Okay. So video lecture will be posted, but it takes time. I need to do manually. Manually edit little bit. Today's I didn't do any sensitive statements, right? If I did, then I need to go back and delete. Liability issue. And then save it, and I need to post it. Can we post our server? I'll do that whatever I want to do. Okay. All right. So if you do that, then after that you can run it. Okay. So we will do the real Python programming next week. I think it is already time's up, right? Okay. This is for today, and I will see you next week. Next week, this class. Stop recording.